Welcome back to the English Explorer, the podcast where we make learning English an exciting adventure. I'm your host, Sarah.
And I'm Michael, thrilled to be back in the studio with you. Sarah.
Michael, today we're tackling one of the most fundamental, yet often anxiety-inducing aspects of learning a new language: introductions. Our listeners are just starting their English journey, and mastering that initial hello can feel like climbing a mountain.
Absolutely, Sarah. It's truly the gateway. Think about it. Every new connection, every conversation, every friendship begins with that simple act of introducing yourself or someone else. If you can't even get past the "who are you" stage, it's tough to go much further, isn't it?
It really is. It's like trying to navigate a bustling city without knowing how to ask for directions. You just feel lost. But with introductions, it's not just about giving your name. It's about signaling, hey, I'm open to communicating.
Precisely. And for beginners, we want to make this as easy and stress-free as possible. So, let's dive right into the absolute basics. What's the very first thing someone needs to know to introduce themselves?
The simplest and most common phrase is, hello, my name is your name. Or even more casually, hi, I'm your name. Let's say my name is Sarah. I'd say, hello, my name is Sarah, or hi, I'm Sarah.
And the key here, especially for beginners, is to practice saying it out loud. Don't just think it. Say it in front of a mirror. Get comfortable with the sound of your own voice saying your name in English. My turn. Hello, my name is Michael. Hi, I'm Michael.
Excellent. And notice how we keep it short and sweet. No need for complex sentences when you're just starting out. The goal is clear communication. Once you've introduced yourself, the next natural step is to ask the other person's name. What's the go-to phrase for that, Michael?
A most straightforward way is, what's your name? It's direct, polite, and universally understood. So a short exchange might go, hi, I'm Michael. What's your name?
And I would respond, my name is Sarah. Now, after you've exchanged names, there's a lovely social grace phrase that native speakers almost always use. It signals politeness and a willingness to connect. That phrase is nice to meet you.
Oh, that's such a crucial one. It's short, but it carries so much weight in English conversation. And the standard response to nice to meet you is nice to meet you too. That too is important, meaning I also feel it's nice to meet you.
Exactly. Let's try a quick demonstration. I'll start.
All right, I'm ready.
Hello, my name is Sarah. What's your name?
Hi, Sarah. My name is Michael. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Michael.
See how smooth that was? That little exchange is powerful. It opens the door. And for our listeners, just practicing those few lines can build immense confidence.
Absolutely. But introductions aren't just about yourself. Sometimes you're with a friend and you want to introduce them to someone new. This is another really useful skill for beginners.
Definitely. It shows you're comfortable in the social situation and want to include everyone. The easiest way to introduce another person is to say, this is name. For example, if I was with our producer, Alex, and you, I'd say, Sarah, this is Alex. Alex, this is Sarah.
Perfect. Another slightly more formal but still very common way is, I'd like you to meet name. So, Michael, I'd like you to meet Alex. This is great if you're in a more professional setting or want to show a bit more deference.
That's a fantastic point, Sarah. Understanding the subtle differences in formality is part of becoming proficient. But for beginners, stick to this is for everyday use and you'll be perfectly fine.
Exactly. And once the introductions are done, people often move on to a bit of small talk. For beginners, we don't want to overwhelm them, but it's good to be aware of the common follow-up questions. Two very frequent ones are, where are you from? And what do you do?
Those are excellent starter questions because they're open-ended enough to invite a short answer, but not so personal that they're uncomfortable for a first meeting. You might hear, so, Michael, where are you from? And I'd respond, I'm from London. Simple, clear.
And then I might follow up with, and what do you do? Meaning, what's your job or profession? And you could say, I'm a podcast host, or I'm a student. Again, keeping it concise is key when you're starting out.
It's all about building blocks. You master the introduction, then you add a simple follow-up question, then another. It's a journey, not a sprint.
Couldn't agree more. Now let's talk about some tips for our beginner listeners to really nail these introductions and overcome any nervousness. My number one tip is active listening. When someone introduces themselves, really try to hear and remember their name. Nothing makes a better impression than remembering someone's name.
That's a brilliant tip, Sarah. And mine would be, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Seriously. Every single person who speaks English, including native speakers, makes mistakes. The goal is communication, not perfection. If you stumble on a word, just correct yourself and keep going. People appreciate the effort.
Yes, effort is always appreciated. Another tip, practice in low-stakes environments. You don't have to walk into a big party and introduce yourself to everyone on day one. Start by greeting the barista at your coffee shop or a cashier. Just practice saying hello and maybe, how are you, with a friendly smile.
And that friendly smile is so important. It communicates warmth and openness, even if your English isn't perfect. Body language is a huge part of communication across cultures.
Absolutely. Speaking of culture, while we can't delve too deeply into every cultural nuance, it's worth a quick mention that in many English-speaking cultures, a firm handshake is common in more formal or professional introductions. In casual settings, a simple wave or nod is often fine.
Right, and maintaining polite eye contact is generally expected. It shows you're engaged and respectful. But don't stare them down. Just a natural, comfortable gaze.
Exactly. It's all about making that connection. So to recap for our English Explorer listeners, the journey of speaking English truly begins with a confident introduction.
Yes, Sarah, we covered the basics. Hello, my name is, and hi, I'm, name. Remember to practice asking, what's your name, and responding with, nice to meet you, and nice to meet you too.
And don't forget how to introduce others. This is name, or I'd like you to meet name. These simple phrases are your superpowers for making new connections.
And the key takeaways, I think, are to really practice these out loud, not to be afraid of making a few mistakes along the way, and to remember that every small interaction is a victory.
Spot on, Michael. The most important thing is to just start. Don't wait for perfection. Start with these easy English introductions, and you'll find so many doors opening for you.
It's all about taking that first step, or in this case, saying that first hello.
Indeed. So go out there, or even just stand in front of your mirror and start practicing. Thank you for joining us on the English Explorer. That's all the time we have for today. Michael, always a pleasure.
My pleasure, Sarah. And to all our listeners, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time.